Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I am here to announce my September Stamp Club. So let me tell you a little bit about Stamp Club. What I do is I create three full projects. They're typically three cards. This month I have 2 full-size cards and a note card that I am showcasing. And for any purchase made in my store, in my online store of $35 or more, you will receive a free card kit from me in the mail as a thank you. So this will include all the consumable materials to create these 3 projects on your own. I will have a full supply list. Let me show you the 3 projects for this month. I am using the Sweet Cupcake stamp set as well as the Cupcake cutout framelits. That's what this month's Stamp Club is focusing on. So here is my first card. This is a very just fun and festive birthday card. I've also stamped the matching envelope. I have done another one in a different color scheme that can be used, which is a little bit more elegant with that gold. And then instead of doing a third full-size card, I've decided to do a note card. So this one is a Whisper white note card. So these are the 3 projects that we're going to create today. So you will have this video available step by step to walk you through the creation of these 3 projects. So let's go ahead and get started. So the card kit that you receive in the mail will look like this. It will be neatly packaged. You will have all of the materials separated. So here are the materials for the note card that I just showed. Here are the materials for the second card. And then here are all of the materials for the third card. Okay, and you will get an envelope for each of those as well. And then you will have a full supply list as well as step-by-step instructions for each project. Okay, so there's our first project, our second project, our third project, and then a full supply list of all the materials that I've used. We'll start with this card. So here's your envelope. I will set that aside for the moment. You have a card base of pink pirouette. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You have a piece of Whisper white, a piece of silver foil. This is going to create our layer. You have another piece of pink pirouette. Okay. Here is our 2 ovals for our focal point. Here are your pieces of the cupcake. Let me just grab those. This is going to create our cupcake. And then you also have that silver foil heart to adhere as well. So let's go ahead and put this together. And you'll have all the dimensions in the supply list to create this. So this one is cut, the Whisper white is 3 by 3 3/4. Foil is 2 by 3 3/4. And then this is 3/4 inch by 3 3/4. Okay, so let me grab my snail. I also want to mention I will put up the hostess code for September. So if you use that hostess code and leave your contact information, that's how I will know that you have participated in club. And that's what will trigger me to send you your free card kit. So we're just going to line this up. And then I'm going to take that extra piece of pink pirouette. And we're going to just overlap that seam, just like that. Okay, now we can go ahead and put our ovals together. This berry burst just really pops on this pink pirouette. Okay. Alright, so let's do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to grab myself a scrap piece of paper, and I have my 2 pieces of cupcake, and I have noted in the instructions as far as the different sets. So this is like a 3-step stamp. So I will reference image 1, image 2, image 3, so that you'll know which piece that I actually used. So for this one, we're going to stamp the cupcake base in the berry burst, on the berry burst. Okay. And since this set is photopolymer, that's easy to do. So let's do our cupcake. So I'm going to open this pink pirouette. I have my correct layer for frosting. And then I'm going to do full strength pink pirouette. Beautiful. Alright. Okay, so now we can adhere those together as well. Let's get our oval placed on our project. Okay, so I've kind of offset, I mean it's centered, but it's a little low because we're going to stamp our sentiment up here. Okay, so we'll grab the back of our cupcake, add some snail. This oval is plenty big to fit our cupcake. Add some snail to the top. And then we're just going to overlap that. Now with the foil heart, I just used glue dots. So I added 3. I added 1 to each of the tops of the heart there, and then 1 to the end. Very simple, and then you can just add that right on. Okay, and then I've layered the sentiment, make a wish, and we're going to stamp that in the berry burst. Love this color. Favorite in color. Okay. Alright. So that was pretty quick. I mean, it's meant to be quick since you have your card kit. Everything's been pre-cut for you. You just have to do the stamping. Let me give this a nice score. Okay, and then we can focus on our envelope. So in the original, you can see I did the full cupcake and added a little bit more detail. So we're going to use that same cupcake base right here. And I'm going to put that, make sure, double check myself. Let me bring my envelope up. Okay. So we're going to stamp that here in the lower left corner. And now we're going to do our cupcake. So this is where I'm going to use multiple images of the cupcake. I'm going to take, of the icing rather. So I'm going to take that full frosting piece. We're going to ink that up in the pink pirouette, and I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to stamp again onto the envelope. Okay, so it's very faint. I know that's probably hard to see on camera. And then we're going to do our other layers. Okay, so here is the icing number 2. I'm going to ink that up in the pink pirouette. And now I'm going to do full strength right on top. Okay, so then that really makes it pop. Alright, and now we will take some of the sprinkles. We'll do this in the berry burst. And I'm just going to add that full strength onto the cupcake. And I love doing the envelopes because I really think it just kind of finishes off your project. So that completes the first card in Club. And let's move on to our second one. So here again is the second card with the coordinating envelope. Okay, this is using Very Vanilla and Chocolate Chip. So I'm going to keep my scratch paper over here to the side. We're going to use that again. So this one, you have your envelope in Very Vanilla. you have your card base, which is chocolate chip, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You have a piece of Very Vanilla that is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and this is embossed with the Polka Dot Basics embossing folder. You have a piece of the 1/4 inch copper trim. We're going to wrap that around that layer. You have a full-size metallic gold doily. You have a Very Vanilla layering circle that's been cut. And then you have your 2 pieces of your cupcake. Okay? So let's go ahead and work with our trim. First, we're going to add fast fuse here to all sides actually of this layer. Because it's embossed, we don't want it to pop up. So I'm going to lift that up, and I'm just going to center my trim, and I've put that into the fast fuse on the back. Okay, add a little bit more up the center, and then we're going to lay this down just like that. Okay, and we can even go ahead now and adhere our circle to our doily. And I've cut this circle to the size where I can see quite a bit of the doily still. I just wanted to be able to showcase that as well. So I'm going to add some fast fuse, and we can lay that down right over our foil there. Okay, and now we can do our stamping. Bring back that scratch piece of paper. We have our 2 pieces, and now we are going to bring in crumb cake and chocolate chip. I'm going to use that same cupcake bottom, and we are going to stamp that over our piece. So again, I'm going to use that crumb cake. I'm going to stamp off so it leaves it pretty faint. I'm going to stamp that on. Okay, looks good. This is now number 2. Put that on my block. I'm going to ink that up in the crumb cake. We're going to stamp that full strength now, right on there. Okay, so you can see we're kind of building that color. And now we're going to grab that top layer, and we're going to open that chocolate chip. Now the chocolate chip is very deep, so you could totally stamp it that color. I'm going to stamp off because I want to give it a little bit of a lighter tone. There we go. So see how you get those different colors mixed? Love that. Alright, so let's take that off. Let me close these up for the moment. I'm afraid I'll put my finger in them. Okay, now we can bring back in and layer on our bottom as well as our top. Just like that. See how cute? Love it. Okay, let me give this one a nice crease. My bone folder. Okay, now we're going to coordinate our envelope as well. So we're going to repeat those steps that we just did. Let me reopen our ink pads. We'll start off with that crumb cake as our cupcake base, right in that lower left corner. Okay, we'll go back to the third image of the frosting, and we're going to bring back our scratch piece. We're going to do crumb cake. We're going to stamp off and then stamp onto our envelope we're going to get the second image. We're going to do that full strength crumb cake. Just building color. Okay, now let's do image number 1. We're going to do that chocolate chip. I'm going to stamp off, and then we're going to stamp again. Just like that. I love this. I love 3-step stamping, even 2-step stamping. I just love the way it builds. Alright. Okay. So there is project number 2. Beautiful. Love it. Alright, and then lastly, but not least, we will do our note card. So I love the note card size, and that's why I wanted to incorporate that into this month's kit. We do have note cards in the Whisper White as well as Very Vanilla, and they're awesome to have on hand. You get 20 per pack with envelopes, and I believe it's $6 in the catalog if I'm not mistaken, so it's a great value. So I can show you how quickly, you can throw together a beautiful card for a birthday. So you have your note card base. Here is your envelope. I have a piece of the Fresh Florals Designer Series paper. It is 2.5 by 4.5. And then I have a piece of Gold's Glimmer that is 1 inch by 3.5, and that's flagged on both ends. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. We're just putting this in the center of our note card. Looks good right there. Okay, I have used the triple banner punch to flag both of those ends. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this now directly in the center. So once you flag it, it will fit perfectly. I've also cut a stitched shape circle. These are from the Stitch Shape Framelits. This is the second largest circle in Whisper White. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to put some fast fuse on this because it's going directly to the glimmer. Sometimes the snail is not strong enough to hold, so we are going to layer that right on. Okay, and then we do need our cupcake pieces, so let me grab those. Okay, so we have our cupcake pieces here. I'm going to bring back in that scrap piece of paper that we have been using to do our stamping. So for this one, we're going to use the crumb cake, the berry burst, and the pink pirouette. So trying to stick with these same colors, I'm going to get that base, and we are going to stamp that in the crumb cake. Looks good. Alright, now we're going to build our cupcake frosting again. So we'll start with that base, and we're going to do that in the pink pirouette. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on. Okay, just gives you a little faint color there. Now we'll go to number 2. We'll do the pink pirouette. This time we'll do that full strength. So stamp that directly on. There we go. See, I love that. I love how it builds. It's my favorite part. Alright, now we'll go to image number 1. We're going to ink that up in the berry burst. I'm going to stamp off, and then we're going to stamp on. Beautiful. Alright, and then we're going to use those sprinkles, and we're going to do the berry burst, and we're going to do that full strength so those can pop. Alright, so let's take our cupcake off and close up our inks. And then we can adhere this to our note card. Alright, so we'll lay that down right there. Let's do our frosting. And you could pop these up with dimensionals as well if you'd like. That would be fun also. Alright, we will give this a nice crease, just like that. Beautiful. Okay, and this envelope I left plain. You can also use some of the sentiments from the Sweetest Cupcake set to stamp on your envelopes as well. You know, you could stamp the happy birthday and then put their name below it. So there's lots of versatility here. So again, to participate in Stamp Club, all you need to do is have a $35 purchase in my online store at the irishscrapper.stampinup.net. I will put up a hostess code to make your purchase. You could definitely order some of the recommended supplies to recreate these projects, or you can purchase anything in my store, completely up to you. But I will send you out that free card kit in the mail, and if you do have any questions about Club, feel free to email me, and I look forward to being back with you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.